want to welcome you to this case study. This is the very first webinar we're doing in this case study, and this is I'm revealing 3 website flippers that are currently making bank every single day on Flippa. Now these guys, they run the gamut of people who have only been on Flippa for 5 months all the way up to people who have been on Flippa for years. Okay, so let's get started with the very first one. Now I'm using a Flippin Stats program here, and what this program does is it scrapes information off of Flippa, so it makes key research for Flippa much easier. Now you go on Flippa and you can do the searches and get pretty good information back from them on the site itself. But this site, or this piece of software, actually grabs everything off of the Flippa site, scrapes it, grabs it off of their API, and then gives you all the information depending on how you set up the keywords, the pricing, and exactly what you're looking for. Now in this case, I went out and I found one person. The first webinar is going to be centered around this individual right here called Biz Websites. Now how this sets up is we searched for Biz Websites. We have all of their websites, and my search criteria was this. We went back 30 days and went back 10 pages, and then we're basically for the stats information that's going to give us information on how much this person is making. We put in our regular fee, so $29 fee for the Flippa listing. The success fee is 5%, minimum Flippa fee is $10. We're figuring the domain cost on an average about $9 if you get them over at GoDaddy with coupons, or less than $9, but just we put $9 in there. And then the transaction fee of 3%. So we went ahead and saved that, and then we went ahead and did the search, and we found a number of different sellers. When we narrowed it down, I didn't want to have you sit through searching through all these sellers. We found this particular seller, and let's take a more in-depth look at what they're selling. Now, when you get the information back on Flippin Stats, you'll get the Flippa listing, the site URL, of course, the seller, the price the site sold at, and you'll see over here the revenue per month. The -1 means essentially that we set the site up to search for sellers that have 0 revenue. Alright, so when we set this up, we enter the keyword, which was Biz Websites. We're looking for this particular seller. The pricing is 0. We went to a high of 200,000. We knew that's a big enough number that's going to bring back everything. And the revenue is 0, and the revenue high is 0. So 0 low and 0 high means that the site has made 0 money. Alright, so we want to pull down, in this particular search, someone who has sites on Flippa they're selling, doing very well with sites with actually no revenue. Okay, so traffic multiples, there's again -1, there's no traffic. Most of these are new sites, and then we see what the costs are. We see the date that the sites were established, and as you can see, November, October, a number of different sites, and they're all within a period of a month or so. Brand new sites, again, no revenue, probably very little traffic. Now look at these bids, 8 bids, 5, 10, 8, 8, 8, 7, 5, 6, 8, 6 bids. Guess what, guys? People want these sites. If they didn't want these sites, they wouldn't be bidding on them. Here's one that's a Google page, rank 1. That may be a little bit aged, but what I'm trying to point out here is that the buyers at Flippa are willing to bid on sites. Right now, it is a hot environment at Flippa. Is it a seller's market? No. It's a buyer's market at Flippa. They determine the pricing because right now the economy is still depressed. But here's the thing. If you create a great site and have a compelling auction, you're going to get tons and tons of people bidding on your auction, and you're going to sell these sites. Now, granted, this guy isn't selling these for a whole heck of a lot of money, $247 down to $90. But let's take a look at his stats. he has one site that did not sell. So his success rate, come over here to the stats tab, is he sold 21 sites, he didn't sell one. He has a 95% success rate. Okay, so that's pretty good. And $1,484. Now we take away all the fees. The program does that for us. So it lets us know essentially that this guy is making bank with these sites. Now his is a volume business. He's not about cranking out a site, getting it, making money, and then selling it for $500 to $1,000 or more. He's about cranking these sites out very quickly and turning them on Flipper. Remember, this is 21 auctions that he did within a period of 30 days. Let's just click on one. So this is one of his auctions, and he's listed it more than once. You see the little triangle up here that says once. So he listed it once, and he had one bid, $247. Now this one cost a little bit more because he had to relist it. So his original fee was $29. The relisting fee is $10. Actually, I think that it's gone up a little bit, but let's just say $10. So he's into this site about $40, $45 or so. So he made, and of course we didn't take away the fees and everything, made close to $200 when you take away the GoDaddy domain, the 5% Flippa listing, and all of the other costs associated with selling the site. As we see here on stats, remember we put in the information. That basically takes into account all the information right down here. So he had a 95% success rate, and he made $1,484 in a month. Now he's doing some work on these sites. There's no doubt about it. He's either doing the work himself or he's outsourcing it. But this is not anything that you can't do. Let me show you something that's really phenomenal. We'll just go over here to his site or his profile. Now look at this. He's got one negative feedback. So it says the site is nothing like it was supposed to be, and the seller was little to no help in correcting the site. So he basically did himself in by not helping out his buyer. So he got some bad feedback and knocked his 100% down to 98%. Now the person's out of Canada. He's on a prepaid mobile phone number. That's to me, that's kind of a red flag. But here's what I really wanted to point out. Signed up 5 months ago. 5 months ago, and he's already banked $19,190. Well, let's just do a little math here. Get my calculator down here, and we're just going to do 19,190 divided by 5, and he's banking about $38.38, so $3,800 every single month off of sites that have no traffic, no revenue. Now, his appraisal, he's thrown up these appraisals in here. Now, let's just take a look at one of these. One day to go. Let's actually take a look at one that he sold. Let's see one here. Here's the appraisal, and auction ended yesterday. It didn't sell because there's no price down here. Here's one for $95, ended 2 days ago. Okay, so this one has just tons of backlinks, and so we have a registration date of 14th November 2012, and it already has 12,124 backlinks. All right, now here's the deal with these backlinks. He has pounded this site with backlinks very quickly, within just a few days. Now I'm recording this, and it's on the 20th, so we haven't even gone a week. We've gone 6 days, and he has Majestic is saying he has 12,124 backlinks. I'll almost guarantee you this site will not do very well, mainly because these backlinks have just been slammed down on this site. It wasn't a natural progression as far as Google is concerned anyway. So it's an abnormal growth or abnormal backlinking strategy. And in my opinion, though this is strictly my opinion, I think that the Google would stand a good chance of maybe de-indexing this site. But remains to be seen. The main thing is the guy's producing sites and he's selling them. So look at this. He's got 12,124 links. He has a link out to Majestic. So you can see his bank linking strategy here. 12,000 referring domains. And if we just come over here to backlinks, we'll see exactly who's backlinking. Power tools. Oh, we have to log in. I'm sorry. Apologize. I need to log in to my account, and we can see the information. Okay, so we have all of these sites that are essentially linking in on his site. All right, so you can really check this out. I mean, if somebody really wanted to do due diligence and they were experienced, now the people buying these sites are probably not very experienced at buying sites because I had 5 bids, sold $95. It's fairly cheap, 12,000 backlinks, but he moved the site. It says it has over 1,200 pages of quality content. I would probably beg to differ with the quality content. More than likely, he has generated this content with some kind of auto posting bot or plug-in, because it is a WordPress site. Come down here, we can see that it is WordPress. So he's got something on here. We see the age. So this is an age domain, 2 years old, and yet it's showing up as only being around since 14th of November. So what happened on this domain is it was dropped. It was completely dropped, and now it's showing a new date of just a few days ago. So if you look back in the domain, 2 years, 318 days, hopefully he didn't pay very much for this domain because he didn't sell it for very much. Now he's not revealing basically how he has all the pages of content. He does have the Azon plugin there, or WP Zon Builder, which is a plugin to populate the site with Amazon products. But and that may be where he's generating all of the traffic from it. If we take a look at the plugins, he has all-in-one, Ping Optimizer, Contact, XML Sitemap, Sociable, StatPress 5 or StatPress V. So it's basically an Amazon site and hosted on HostGator. So there's nothing really to this site, and he's thrown in a bunch of buy it now bonuses, mystery package for 4, Amazon cookie for 9, and SEO training package, which is probably a PLR package, I'm just guessing, and another traffic package. So he's thrown together some bonuses to sort of incentivize the auction. Got 5 bids, so we know that people are looking for sites like this because he's got some traction here. Now here's the thing that is kind of funny. These website appraisals, it's appraised at 2,586.51. When you see these website appraisals, you might as well just just chalk it up as this is so inflated it's not even funny. There's all kinds of website appraisal services out on the net, and he went to one. I don't see anywhere in here where he actually says which one he went to, but he got a website appraisal of 2,586.51, and you see it sold for $95. So but a lot of these guys that are selling these sites that have no traffic, no revenue, are doing this website appraisal on their sales page, and they're finding buyers. So something to think about. Again, going back over to his listings, he's got 1 bad feedback, which knocked down his feedback to 98%, and tons of sales. Again, if we look at Flipping Stats, which brings everything up in the stats folder here, you'll see that again, he did about 1,500 in his pocket for the month, 95% success rate. In my opinion, this guy's making bank. He's not doing a whole lot with these sites. He's throwing up a fast site. He's throwing an Amazon plugin on it, and he's sticking him up here and making sort of a compelling sales page. You want to do exactly what he's doing? Crank out sites. almost one a day, you can do the same thing and put $1,500 in your pocket in the next 30 days. Just copy, his model here. He's doing it. There's no reason why you can't do it. Okay, so I hope you got a little bit out of that. That's our first website flipper. Hope we exposed him correctly. And, I think, again, he's somebody to keep an eye on. I'm going to certainly click my ad seller to watch list because I want to kind of see what he does in the future. And again, that's a person that is making bank on Flippa. Thanks for watching this webinar. Stay tuned for webinar number 2. We're going to expose another successful seller on Flippa.